bottom line is Kaepernick is protesting and he's standing up for those that don't have a voice.
I just felt a sense of solidarity with him for putting his career on the line to say, hey, look, man, somebody needs to talk about this. Somebody needs to look at this. We need to come together around this issue.
I'm Tony Anderson.
And I'm Gia Peppers for BET.
We are here in New York City at the United Stand rally in support of Colin Kaepernick and his peaceful protests.
That's right. Right now, people are literally lined up on the streets in support of our guy Colin. We have everyone out here from the Justice League to the Women's March to the Empowerment Movement to even Kappa Alpha Psi, who came out here to show their support.
And what people are saying is that this is bigger than Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
This is bigger than the national anthem. This is about not letting somebody get blackballed who is standing, or rather sitting, against social injustice.
Absolutely, and I gotta be honest, I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of the NFL, but I did want to come out here today absolutely to support my guy Colin, but also to find out how true NFL fans are feeling at this moment.
Indeed. Now, earlier this week, BET hit the streets to find out about Colin Kaepernick and his peaceful protests. Take a look.
Anyone as an American has the right to express their pleasure or displeasure with current events in whatever arena they want.
You know, it is a peaceful protest what Kaepernick is doing.
I feel for him because I think it's good to be able to speak up about something that you're adamantly against.
You shouldn't be blackballed. You shouldn't be considered, the black sheep of the NFL.
Things get a little bit bigger than what you are doing, whatever in that respective sport, and I think it's your responsibility to say something about it.
My whole issue with athletes is they're puppets, unfortunately. We're being used oftentimes to entertain people.
It's kind of shameful. It's kind of shameful. It kind of makes me not want to watch as much football as I've watched in my life.
I believe that white players would be criticized if doing the same thing for Colin Kaepernick has been doing, but I don't believe it would garner as much attention or controversy.
I actually played European basketball for 11 years. The idea that someone should just shut up and play is kind of ridiculous.
And my name is Mary Andre, and I won't stand for mediocrity.
My name is Winkin, and I won't stand for injustice. My name is Tom Grant, and I won't stand for intolerance.
My name is Kevin Leon Martin, and I won't stand for it.
By now, we all know that Colin Kaepernick is a household name. But for those of you who need a little bit of a refresher, here are some key facts to help you understand how we got here today.
This is a moment in our nation's history, especially after Charlottesville, that calls us to move towards a moral center. And I think that those players who are able to stand up and be able to address that through their protests are making a bold stand. And even the silence of those who are not able to because they fear for backlash. And Martin King says, in times of controversy, I won't remember the loud voice of my enemies, I'll remember the silence of my friends. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Corporation. This personally is something that's dear to my heart. But not only that, it's a time for the faith community and the civil rights community to join hands with the sort of sports enthusiasts to really right a moral wrong. And here we are today to sort of in solidarity with Colin Kaepernick to really say that what the NFL is doing to him is a grave injustice and something we're getting ready to fight for.
Colin Kaepernick is not the first athlete to stand up for his community. As we all remember and love, Mr. Muhammad Ali himself, the late great boxing heavyweight champion, took every single chance. We're talking press conferences, we're talking tours, when he was before fights to go against against white supremacy and all the hate that they tried to riddle within the civil rights movement of the 1960s. There's also Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who was literally blacklisted and fired from the NBA, but he was able to stand up and really take a stance against what's happening in the same way that Colin Kaepernick is doing right now.
Well, I think first of all, as a white member of a Divine Nine organization, it's particularly important that I stay committed to the values and the service aspect of Kappa Alpha Psi. But generally speaking, I think the whole problem is that white people can remain indifferent. And for as long as that is the case, there's going to be a limit to how much progress we can get. So I think it's a shame that there's only been one white player in the NFL who's kneeled down. I think it's particularly shameful for the the superstar white players whose job security is not a concern. Right? Why are they not taking a stand, or rather taking a knee, right, with their fellow players?
We understand how patriotic the flag is, and it means something to a lot of different people. But you have to see the police brutality, especially people, minority, African American. You just had the current president who came out and spoke how he needs a couple police officers to rough people up, which is something that doesn't sit well with me. Just driving while black. There's so many instances that we have, and then you have multiple people that are shot time and time again. I can go through the whole name list, which isn't necessary. It's a message behind what he's doing. Get away with, okay, he's taking a knee, but absolutely he should be in our NFL roster right now.
While Colin definitely kneels alone on the sideline, when it comes to celebrity support, he is anything but. I've literally got a list of names here who have spoken out on his behalf. We have Marshawn Lynch, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, John Carlos, Michael Bennett, Spike Lee, T.I., and of course, the greatest president ever, Barack Obama, have all come to his support. And it's not by accident. I mean, obviously, he's standing for a really great cause. And Michael Bennett actually just spoke to the Washington Post. This is bigger than football. This is about people, giving people equality. This is bigger than a sport. At the end of the day, you can't take your accolades with you, but you can leave a legacy. Also, they were going crazy on Twitter. There are a few tweets that I want to read with you just so you understand. There's a woman named Miss Tony J who really hit the nail on the head. She tweeted, "It was racism with Ali, Smith, and Carlos Abdul-Rauf, and it's racism with Cap. Hashtag I'm with Cap at NYCLU." We definitely want to see everybody out there on Twitter, man. This is such a powerful moment, and you can tell that the love is real from the New York streets to the tweets, so make sure you guys are standing on the right side of justice.
Now, as you can see behind me, Kaepernick has a ton of supporters, not just behind me, but all across the country. But at the end of the day, the NFL is big business, and many feel that Colin Kaepernick's stance during the national anthem is bad for business. Now, the league gets plenty of money from paid patriotism, including having players stand for the national anthem. Now, I talked to former NFL player Nate Burleson about his feelings on paid patriotism, and he said, quote, "I have a huge respect for what this flag represents, given that I have family who serve this country proudly, but as a business-minded athlete, also understand the business side of things. The NFL is big business, so it doesn't impact my patriotism when I hear about the various ways these teams make money." Now, while Burleson understands the business side of things, he also said that he would kneel with Kaepernick if he was still playing, and if he was a GM, he would sign Kaepernick up in a heartbeat. So clearly, many people are divided with this, but at the end of the day, the NFL is a business.
I don't have time to play with the NFL. I didn't come here today to play with the NFL. Don't let them tell you that we are out here for one man. I like Colin Kaepernick. I think he is a good dude. I've seen him, I've talked to him, I've met with him. I think Colin Kaepernick is wonderful. But I didn't come out here today for one man. He didn't just need for himself or his family, he needs for all of us. And what we are standing for, we were standing for before Colin Kaepernick took a knee. We talk to the people who are in charge of the system, and the NFL is that. You want to make billions of dollars on our backs and not stand up for our children. We didn't send them where they are not to stand up for our communities. Those players have a moral responsibility to speak for Trayvon Martin and Sandra Bland. Any organization that is only being looked at from within is a failing organization. We must be disciplined enough to say, I don't care how long you've been watching football, if they don't stand for your children, turn the damn game off.
Colin Kaepernick did not just take a knee on behalf of himself or because he wanted more money in his contract. He spoke on behalf of specific people and cases where we've seen militarized and excessive police force in our communities. And therefore, everyone of good moral conscience ought to be standing up for Colin Kaepernick. So this is not a gender issue. It is an all people's issue. It's a human rights issue, actually, because when you tie it back to what's happening in our communities, then you recognize that what he is standing up for, we all should be fighting for.
We didn't just come out here to rally today. We came out here to give people actionable items to move. We came out here to work. And one of the ways we're working is, we are demanding a meeting with the NFL, and we are calling on folks to hold the NFL accountable. And we're demanding a meeting by September 7th. So you can tweet the NFL, you can call their headquarters, you know where their building is located, because we were out here today.
So now you organize officers for Kaepernick rally. Why?
Because the biggest criticism that Colin gets is that he's anti-cop. But when I speak to officers off duty and sometimes while we're working, many officers actually support his stance because we have front row seats and can see the detriments of the system ourselves. So I figured, it's time to shut up those who want to paint him as anti-cop by having officers support him and showing it to the world. Ultimately, he's trying to bring awareness to something that we have ignored for far too long. We have to be willing to talk about the issues. And I'll quote former Attorney General Eric Holder, when it comes to race, we are a nation of cowards. We refuse to have the discussion, and which is why we can't get to the solution.
What is the message that you want to drive home for the people who are watching this?
That this is bigger than Kaepernick. This is about supporting yourself, because he took a knee to protest for you. So if you really support and respect yourself, you're going to do whatever you need to do to show that you care about yourself.
Wow, what an incredible event. We talked to so many passionate people about Colin and what exactly he's standing for. And no matter how you feel about Colin, the love is real and it's right behind us.
Indeed. One of the takeaways for me was that from Muhammad Ali to John Carlos and Tommy Smith and now Colin Kaepernick, he has indeed made history. And no matter if he's kneeling, standing, or sitting, he is not doing so alone. For more, make sure you stay logged on to BET.com. I'm Tony Anderson.
And I'm Gia Peppers for BET.